I was trying to lose weight for the past 4 years with little to no success. No matter what I did, my weight wouldn't move. I tried calorie counting. I think at some point I was at 1200 calories, which is too low. Never do it to yourself. I tried gym, running, strength training, anything I could. Nothing seemed to help. So 2 months ago, I decided to try a different approach, and it finally resulted in minus 10 kg in the next 2 months. And no, it's not what you are thinking about. I did not start with any medications. A quick disclaimer. I'm not a fitness specialist, a doctor, a nutritionist, a dietitian, none of those. In this video, I only want to share my personal experience with women who maybe found themselves in a similar position. Please do not treat this as a professional advice. If you suspect that you have any health issues, it's always best to first consult with a doctor. And that's exactly where I started. I realized that I'm stuck in a cycle where I start the diet, I lose a few kg, then I hit a plateau, my weight stops moving for the next few weeks, then I give up and regain the weight and plus some more. So I realized that I need to check if there was any issue that's stopping me from continuing my weight loss journey. If you want to do the same, here is what to expect. They will probably check your thyroid function and your glucose level and your insulin level. Because here is what was happening to me. I had this insane sugar crashes. Basically, I would have my breakfast and in a few hours, I would feel so hungry. I felt like I'm gonna die. I would be shaking, I would feel dizzy, I would have cold sweats. I needed to eat something sweet immediately. So of course I was worried that there is something wrong with my sugar regulation. If you experience anything similar, it is a good idea to check your insulin levels. And please don't stop at glucose, because your fasting glucose can be normal, but your body can still struggle to regulate your sugar levels. So check your insulin. Because if you do have some health issues, you do not need a correct diet. You need a treatment plan. Unfortunately for me, I guess, everything was normal. I'm completely healthy. And that meant that I'm just not consistent enough with my diet. And of course, my sugar crashes are preventing me from being consistent, because when I feel this hungry, I just cannot resist from eating outside of my diet. I'm literally ready to consume anything that I see around me.
Fall in!
Do it, Gabby. There's no quitting.
Don't get all holier than thou, Mona. I saw you pull into the donut shack yesterday.
Donut! That's a lot!
Oh, really? Well, try this on for size. I'm going back to bed because I'm tired. And when I wake up, maybe I'll have some cake, and you can't stop me.
Here is what I didn't know and what you need to know before you start any weight loss journey. You will hit a weight plateau, and that's absolutely normal. Your weight can be stuck for a few weeks at a time, and that's because a diet is a stress for your body, and your body is holding on the water even though the weight loss continues in the background. You have to just stick with it and continue being consistent no matter what your weight scale is showing. Secondly, it's important to know that for us women, weight loss is a bit trickier than for men. I see it firsthand now because me and my husband are together on this journey, and I can tell you how much easier it is for him to lose weight. First of all, they can eat more food and still be in a calorie deficit because they are just bigger and they usually have more muscle. So it's easier for them to stick with their food. For us, the calorie level that we must eat to stay in the deficit is usually lower. Of course, there are hormonal fluctuations as well every month with us women, which will cause us to retain water every month during certain period. And naturally, our bodies are just holding on to fat way more than a male body does. It goes like that. A guy gets onto the diet and his body is like, whoa, we are exercising, we are eating less, I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna lean out, I'm gonna make you strong and nice so that you can be a better hunter or something like that. And for a woman, it's like, oh, we are on a diet, we are exercising, that means we are under stress. Hold on to that fat which you need to make babies. That's why if you're a woman and you want to lose weight, you need to know these things. It will be more tricky for you, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible. And whenever you hit a plateau, it just means that there is some hormonal fluctuation or water retention in the background. It doesn't mean that your diet is not working. Personally with me, because I had this issue with the sugar crashes, I wanted to look for a diet that will not only help me stay consistent and lose weight, but also will improve my sugar regulation and make me overall feel better. And for that, there is no better instrument than a keto diet. You don't have to go on a keto diet, but I'm just going to tell you how it worked for me and why I chose to do it. So in a nutshell, a keto diet is when you don't eat carbs, or you eat a very, very minimal amount that you just cannot avoid, approximately less than 20 grams of net carbs per day. And what it does to you, it puts your body in this situation and this process that's called ketosis. Ketosis is when your body learns to take energy not from glucose and from carbs, as we all do since the day we were born, but out of fat. And immediately, not from the fat that's inside your body, from the fat that you are consuming with the food, first of all. And later on, when you put yourself in a calorie deficit, yes, you have to do calorie deficit anyway, then you will start also burning fat that's stored inside your body. Because your diet consists mostly of protein and fat that comes with it and fiber, you eliminate sugar and the fluctuations of sugar that are happening in your blood every single day, which results in the fact that your hunger level will be more stable. I'm not saying you will not feel hungry, because many people go to the extent of saying, on a keto diet, you don't feel hungry. That's why it's so easy, so great. Guys, in personal experience, it's a lie. I do feel hungry every single day, even though I'm more than 2 months now on a keto diet. I do feel hungry, but my hunger is very stable. I don't feel the need to immediately have something to eat right now when the hunger comes. I can wait until next meal and I can be absolutely fine. My energy level is way more stable. If you ever decide to try a keto diet, I must warn you about one thing. It will take a few days. For me, it took 9 days to get into the state of ketosis, when your body starts getting energy from fats. It took 9 days, and on the 9th day, I felt kind of sick. This phenomenon is called keto flu. It happens when your body burns all glycogen that's stored inside, and now it has to find a new energy source. But because you never did it in past, it is a major stress for your body, and you feel literally as if you have a fever, but you don't have a fever. It is your body starting to learn how to feed itself from fats. But don't worry, it goes on usually not more than for a day. For me, it was just evening, and then you feel absolutely fine. The biggest benefit of this diet for me is, of course, more stable level of my hunger and the way that I don't have these highs and lows from sugar. This is the best thing. Another benefit is that your calorie intake can be a little bit higher than it would be if you just counted calories and continued eating carbs, because your body just uses more energy to burn fat for fuel. Also, you will have reduced inflammation just because you don't have such amount of carbs in your body, and improved digestion. And I know that many girls like me struggle with digestion issues, with stomach pain and things like that. And this diet is very good for it because you are forced to eat a lot of protein and a lot of fiber, which affects your gut in a very good way. So here is how it went for me. I started the keto diet by eliminating all of the carbs, by eating protein, a little bit more fats in the beginning to help myself get into the state of ketosis. It continued for 9 days until I got into ketosis, and then I started cutting my calories because you still have to be on a calorie deficit. I continued like this for a few weeks, and during these first few weeks, everything was going absolutely great. I was dropping weight very fast, which was really motivating and nice to see. But then I hit my first plateau. And yes, even on keto diet, you will hit a plateau at some point. This plateau was going on for me for 2 weeks, which was really, really stressful. I must confess to you, I was even crying at some point. I thought nothing is working and I'm again stuck and I can't do anything, and doctors didn't find any problem, so nobody can help me. But because this time I promised myself that I will stay consistent and I will stick with it, I decided to do something else differently. So now, since my calorie counting seemed to stop working, I decided to add physical activity, and it was walking. Why walking? Because it is very comfortable for me. Here is the secret of consistent motivation on a diet: to find things that are comfortable for you, to find calorie deficit that is comfortable and sustainable, that does not make you miserable, does not keep you hungry and starving all the time, and find a physical activity that you can do regularly instead of forcing yourself until the day that you give up because it's so uncomfortable and unpleasant for you.
I don't know what else to say.
I don't know. How about, hey, Susan?
Thanks for eating nothing but broccoli and colon cleanser for the last 6 months so you could lose weight and look good for me?
For me, walking is pleasant. I bought a walking pad and started walking almost every day. I have a day off, maybe 2, maybe 3 days per week sometimes. I started with 6,000 steps, which is kind of minimum amount of steps, and that helped my body to drop the water weight. And I could see immediately on the scale that during these 2 weeks that my weight was not moving. I lost another 2 kg, which was awesome. Another way to stay consistent on a diet is to not eliminate all of your favorite foods. Of course, with this specific diet, it's a bit harder because you have to eliminate the carbs. But you can always find alternatives, substitutes that will keep you happy, because being miserable on a diet, which takes months, it's not a correct approach. For me, for example, my biggest pain is that I cannot eat anything sweet. I cannot have desserts. And I have major sweet tooth. I have to have a dessert at least once per day. It's impossible for me otherwise to function. I just feel too miserable and unhappy. And of course, you can find sugar-free, keto-friendly desserts, or if you're doing another diet, you can always find sugar-free desserts, low-calorie desserts that will keep you happy. Because when you have that dessert that you love having at least once per day, you don't think, oh my God, I can't do it, and you won't give up. A word on cheat days. Many people say that cheat days are a scam and you shouldn't do it because one day you eat whatever you want and next day you just don't come back to your diet. Well, if you stay consistent, cheat days are important for 2 reasons. First of all, they keep you mentally sane because on those days you don't have to count your calories. You can eat your favorite foods. And second reason, it will keep your metabolism active. Your body kind of won't adapt to the calorie deficit and will not slow down your weight loss. I have cheat days every single week and it didn't slow my progress at all. Of course, in my case, I cannot have a full cheat day, meaning I cannot eat whatever I want. I cannot eat carbs even on my cheat days because it will break my ketosis. So on my cheat days, I just don't count calories. I just eat whatever I want, staying inside the keto diet. So it's still proteins, fiber, whatever keto-friendly products, desserts that I eat, but I just don't count calories. And it really keeps me sane and keeps me happy week to week. It did not slow down my progress at all. And what do you think, you guys? After some time, since I started walking and my weight started moving again, I was very happy. Weight was moving, everything was great. But after some time, my weight stopped again and I hit a second plateau. For a few days or up to a week, I don't remember, my weight was not moving again. And I was thinking to myself, I went through this once. I know that this is not the end of the world and my weight is probably moving in the background. It just cannot not to move because I am on a calorie deficit and I'm only eating protein and fiber. So I decided this time I will add something else. I increased my daily steps from 6 to 8,000 steps and I added a bit of a strength training. Again, please remember that it must be comfortable for you. I added only few compound exercises that I do few times per week. It's also very beneficial because it will tone my body over time. But if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Oh, and also I stopped for a day and had a cheat day, which also helped a lot. I immediately saw results within a few days of making those changes. Please understand that I'm not telling you that you have to go on a keto diet. I'm just sharing my experience and how it worked for me, what I experienced on it, why I chose it, what were the benefits for me. For me, it definitely worked. The message I want to pass on to you in this video is that you must find something that is comfortable for you. My diets during these 4 years were not working for me because they did not work for my body. I was simply cutting my calories. I was constantly starving. I had sugar crashes. I was very hungry and I couldn't sustain it. I found a system that's working for me, that keeps my hunger stable, that gives me physical activity that I'm not desperate to do every day, that I'm able to stick to every day, and that's why I'm able to stick with the diet and my weight is moving. The main thing when it comes to diets is consistency, and you cannot be consistent if it's uncomfortable for you or if it makes you miserable. Please do not chase rapid results. You will harm yourself in the process because you will either cut your calories too low and you will starve yourself and you will harm your health, or you will overwork yourself in the gym, which is also not very good for your health. Always remember, slow and steady consistency, that's what gives results. And I promise to you, if you start today, you will not believe how fast the results will come. Thank you for watching this video. Share in the comments what is your experience with the weight loss. Do you want to lose weight? Do you plan to try some diets? Maybe you tried the keto diet, how it was for you. If you are any kind of health or fitness professional, share your take on whatever I shared today. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I will be glad to see you next time in my next video. Bye bye.